Peace to the guys and the goddesses. Peace, y'all. It's 5:28 in the morning. If you hear, peace to you. If you're seeing this in real time, peace to you. If you're seeing it in any time, peace. I came here to share some information. Share information. The exact thing that we are meant to do. Share information. We share information because we are information. You are infinite data and information defined. Once you define, you create resistance. Once you define something, you limit that thing. Once you define, you focus your energy on that thing. So, when you define something, you create resistance. When you define something, you create resistance. And you focus on that thing and create the limitations. Your mind is so powerful, you're creating your entire reality by focusing and decoding information constantly. And by decoding, you're defining. By experiencing, you are defining and creating limitations on energy and creating resistance, which creates the definition. Because everything is infinite, limitless, boundless information, data, and energy waves, which is information. And you decide what you have the ability to decide what this information means. When you define something, you create limitations and resistance. That's literally what you're doing. When you define something, you create resistance so the energy doesn't flow in its infinite manner. So because it's not flowing in its infinite manner and being just infinite possibility, it has become something. This is the science behind you as a creator. You are a creator because you are infinite information. You are an infinite information source that can only be defined by resistance, limitation, focused energy, which is all the same thing. Focused energy is defining the energy flow. Is defining the energy flow and creating a limitation for that energy to exist in a measurable manner. Experiencing is the measurement of energy. Experience is the measurement of energy. Defining is limitation and resistance to energy. When you allow the energy to flow and do not become resistant to the energy, but instead conduct the energy, this is where you create. This is how you create. Peace to you, God. Peace to the gods and goddesses here on planet Kai. understand what you truly are. Even what they've told you about how to manifest and how to create is a lie. That's why it don't work for everybody. That's why it don't work all the time. That's why it doesn't work instantaneously. We manipulate energy instantaneously. You constantly create your own reality because you are infinite information and you constantly define the information, which is what you experience. The more you become what you have defined, the less you are aware of the infinite existence of your true essence and being. You are an infinite energy information center. You have no identity. The identity is the ego. You have no identity. You are no one. You cannot ever become someone until you recognize you are no one. This is how you become whoever you want to be. By recognizing that we are an infinite energy source, which also can be described as an information center, an infinite information center of possibility, information that means nothing, information that is nothing, until defined by the observer. How does the observer define focused energy, limitation, resistance? This is why it's a natural part of our world. It's a natural part of flow. Because the definition of energy or resistance of energy or limitation of energy is the very thing that defines its infiniteness, its infinity. The definition of infinite energy is what defines its infinity. You are an unlimited data center. You collapse your own reality, create your own reality, and experience it all at the same time. This is how intelligent the technology that you have access to is. You have a technology that allows you to define energy, create resistance and limitation to experience energy in a specific way. Because it is infinite and experience does not exist without limitation, resistance, and definition. There is no experience without resistance to the infinite flow of energy. This resistance or observation or focus of energy is what collapses the energy into particles. Definition is limitation. You are no one. You never work for anything. You never do anything. You never think anything. You just become. And you don't become, and a way that you become is the way that we've been taught, right? So we exercise it physically, and we are most conscious of like how it shows up physically. So for example, if you want to become somebody that has a great body, you do things that people that have a great body do. You work out, you eat right, and things like that. And these are still following the rules of definition and limitation. And this is why they say things take time. Because if you do it that way, it does. Because you're operating under the limitation and definition of time and a process and a specific reality. You're operating inside of a reality, like a code, a already set forth path. If you say, I want to get in shape, and you start working out every day and you start eating right, you're following you have defined what getting in shape looks like, what being out of shape looks like, what fucking you have to do to get in shape, how long it's going to take for you to get in shape based on you thinking about how you have defined your current or present situation. It's so many things that's going on that you have decided that you're not even conscious of. Like you're not even aware of how many decisions that have taken place because of how intelligent the technology of your mind is. Your mind is the greatest technology ever, nigga. Ever. It's better than any iPhone that could ever drop. It's better than any AI ever. And they never told you. You just didn't know. You just didn't know. Your mind is the way to tap into the infinite data source. It's through your mind. The infinite data source, in order to become aware of the infinity that is energy and information, that is you, you have to do it with your mind. Because that's how powerful the mind is. And the mind is constantly flooded with information. It's constantly defining information. Your mind is constantly defining and creating limitations. Constantly. That's how it survives. That's what it's designed to do. That's the technology. Because the definition is the experience. The limitation is the experience. This is why your level of awareness creates your experience. Your mind is so intelligent. It's tricked itself. It's tricked you into thinking. It's tricked itself into thinking that the world that it created is actually the real world. It's created a way to intelligently and in the most intelligent way measure unmeasurable energy, which is why the beauty of the process is becoming that energy all over again. Because the definition and the limitation of energy allows you to experience the infinity of energy and information that you are. You are information. You are information however you define it. You can change your reality instantaneously. Nothing takes time. You can't, because time's not real. You can shift your reality instantaneously by becoming the infinite information that you are, by completely disconnecting from the limitations of energy, which is experiencing reality. You disconnect from experiencing reality. You do it through meditation. So I talked about this in another video. You disconnect through meditation. You are most connected when your consciousness is in your neocortex, which is the outer of your brain. You have to put your consciousness in the middle of your brain, and then the lower parts of that, because that is where you access more information, more energy. That's where you can access more information. And then from there, you access even more information. So this comes with practice. You have to continue. I'm not even going to say you have to continue. You just got to practice it. You can practice it and do it. You can practice it and do it immediately. Let me tell you something, man. I was meditating and I could feel my body fighting back. And it's like my body has become accustomed to whatever way my mind has programmed my body. So my body is experiencing these limitations. But my body is only experiencing these limitations because my mind created these limitations and I didn't even know, because my consciousness has been in my neocortex. So I've only been able to access a certain amount of information because of my consciousness. The more you meditate, the more you learn how to deepen your consciousness or become more aware of every aspect of information. See, right now, and understanding the information. See, right now, you are downloading and computing infinite amounts of information, an infinite intelligent system. You are limiting and creating from an infinite information center. You are doing that, and you are so good at doing it, you don't even know you're doing it. And you created this whole world, this limited world, and it's been fed to you. You created it from information that's been fed to you because deep down you know you are infinite information and you limit it to experience it. This is how choosing to be happy is scientifically possible. This is how the choice to exist in any state is scientifically possible, no matter what's going on in your physical. This is how it's possible. This is how you are capable on an energetic and infinite database, like understanding. You are an infinite intelligence. Like, if we're being completely honest, if you are called a god or a goddess, if you are a god or a goddess, if we say peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses, please understand that even that is a limitation and a resistance in energy. And that is a definition. And that is not even what you truly are. Your mind could never understand what it truly is on a conscious level because it always knows what it truly is, which is why it has created a way to keep it from itself in order to experience what it truly is. You want to experience, you want to feel, you want to live innately, you want to cry. This is why your power is in, this is why so much power is in emotion. When you truly understand what it is, in empathy, when you truly understand what it is, because you truly understand what you are. Is all information. You are constantly having a conversation, and you've created a language, and your language is what you experience as your reality. The language that you speak to yourself as an infinite information center, as an infinite energy, as an infinite, as infinity. You've created this language to speak with yourself, and you have trapped your consciousness in a certain part of your brain, so you don't even know that you created the language, and you speaking it to yourself. And the language that you've created is experience. You've created a language that is experience, and you speak it to yourself all the time because you want to talk to yourself. All we're doing is talking to ourselves. You get it? All we're doing is talking to ourselves. And the language that we speak is experience. You are an infinite data source, an infinite information center, an infinite energy source that created definitions and limitations and resistance in the flow of energy that is infinite. In the flow of information, you created definitions and limitations, which is experience. So you can experience the infinity of information. And the technology that you use is so fucking powerful and intelligent. The technology that is created to limit this infinite source of information, or decode it, is experience. The language is experience. It's focused energy. Definitions and limitations are focused energy. And that focused energy creates your reality. You're not conscious of how much you focus your energy. And that's why you think stuff take time. Man, when you sitting around and you going to work and you saving up for something, you're wasting so much energy. But it's not a waste. Because you're just defining energy and experiencing it. You're defining energy and experiencing. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're defining energy, which creates resistance in energy, in the flow of energy. And that resistance is creation of whatever becomes defined. Whatever becomes defined. Once you focus this energy to create a boundary or a limitation, give it an identity, whether that identity, you experience that identity as physical matter, but it's just a combination of energy and information communicating with itself, and you are a part of that communication or conversation by experiencing that physical matter. And that physical matter is you. Is you defining? Is you resisting? Because ultimately, with zero resistance, zero definition, zero focused energy, energy would just, it is just flowing. It is just communicating. It is the wave. Once you define the wave, it becomes a particle. Once you define the wave of energy, it becomes a particle. This entire process is understood by a technology or interface that allows the information, that stops the flow of the information so it can be defined. So it can have an identity. And this is what your experiences and everything you ever went through is to make you who you are. Is to make you who you want to become. Is to make you who you already are. Is to remind you your experiences are set up you experience what you want to experience to remind yourself whatever you want to feel like reminding yourself in that moment. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Laughter must be the highest form of intelligence. because energy and information is funny. It's ironic. It's ironic. It's funny. Like, that is like the like number one experience that I'm experiencing right now. It's just laughter because oh my goodness, what a silly thing to do. What a silly thing to do. What a silly and beautiful thing to do. You know? It's like I can laugh And like, I could also cry because like, it's a beautiful thing. Like, it's a beautiful thing. Like, because everything is nothing. And like, everything is nothing. And the only reason you feel anything is because you want to. That's it. It's all just information defining itself and limiting itself. And the way that it knows it's doing that is through experience. And it chooses to experience whatever it wants. And it's so sophisticated. It's so sophisticated that you don't even know that you're doing it. You have no idea how the mind truly works. And they don't tell you. And if they tell you, it's in a way where you wouldn't understand it. Because actually they do tell you, but nobody has to tell you. You already know. Because you're the one doing it. Because you're the one doing it. Oh my goodness. Because you're the one doing it. Oh my goodness. My goodness. It's 6 a.m. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Something is telling me like someone in my family is gonna see this and they're gonna think I'm having a nervous breakdown. They're gonna think I'm going crazy. Oh my God. How fun. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. That is so hilarious. Don't you understand? Oh my goodness. And it's like when you look at it this way, you can literally just sit in one spot for your entire life. And like live a fulfilled life. And then also because you know the loop never ends, you're going to continue to keep forgetting. You're going to continue to keep forgetting because you exist infinitely. This experience, you can't experience unless you forget. You have to make up an identity to act like, but it's not even that simple. Like, it's not even as simple as just an identity. Like, it's not so simple. You know? It's like infinite energy is you. And because the energy is infinite and it's information, you have to understand, you have to deeply, 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 deeply become the information to understand this information. You have to deeply, deeply just be to understand being. And then you will understand that you are an infinite energy source. Not even a source. Like, not even a source. Because when you say source, it's like nothing's pulling from it. It's not feeding anything but itself. It's just existing. It's not doing shit. It's literally existing. You're just existing. And it's just existing in waves. That's what it does. It's not moving. It's not anything until it's observed, or that energy is focused, or energy is resisted. Because at the core of everything is nothing. When you close your eyes and don't think about anything, you're closer to God than you could ever know. But God is not real. God is not real. God is something that you made up to have, to experience something outside of yourself. Like, you are everything. You are everything experiencing itself. You are everything experiencing itself. You also created the technology to experience itself, or experience yourself. And a part of that technology allows you to forget who you are. Allows memory, because it's like an infinite intelligence just continuing to define and redefine itself constantly. And that's where that infinite of the loop of, like, we're just a cell in another cell and another cell and another cell. You know, we're just an organism in another organism that's a part of another organism that's a part of another organism. And we continue to experience all of it at the same time through awareness and consciousness. We can experience all and nothing, because all is nothing until you define it. Once you define the information, it collapses into something you can experience. Oh, it's such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful process. It's life and death. It's nothing and everything. It's just being. It was never doing. You never had to do anything. And you're always doing everything. All at the same time. How, might you ask? This is why this place is a wonderland. You actually are crazy. You know that? You actually are crazy. Crazy is the real saying. Crazy people understand and experience what they are, and a lot of us don't allow ourselves to handle it because, I mean, for one, it can't be handled. So when you try to put all of that understanding in your brain, when you try to understand and think about the information that I'm talking about, because your brain is not designed that way, this how people lose their shit. This how people lose their shit. This is probably like the energetic or informative experience behind like people showing up as like schizophrenic, or they seeing voices or seeing people and stuff, because you start to project things and experience the chaos of existence. And because maybe you don't want to experience the beauty, you know? We've been experiencing the beauty for a very, very, very long time. Since literally ever. You know what I'm saying? Imagine living in a world where you had it all. And it was just you. And you could never die. You would probably just be running around killing yourself. And just coming back. Imagine, like, it gets to a point to where, like, if you are existence and you're just existing and everything is existing all at once, and it's you, of course you would create something, and then you would run and play with what you made and forget, like, you the creator. Like, if you had it all, you would give it up just to get it back. That's the whole beauty of the ride. That's the whole beauty of the ride. Because none of this shit exists. And it doesn't exist because it's all infinite possibility. And it only exists because of how powerful our mind is and how our mind understands information and breaks down information. And the way that we experience the breaking down and limiting of information and defining of information, which is all the same thing. The way that we define information is limiting information or focusing energy. When you focus that energy, it collapses into whatever you're focusing on. And you have been fed images to focus on your entire existence. Because you've always existed, you are feeding yourself the images, and you made yourself forget that you're the one feeding yourself the images and creating the images and experiencing the images because of how you chose to define that energy. Because you are energy. It's literally just as simple as experiencing your body because you have a body. You experience your body because you have a body. Huh. Everything is experience. Experience is a language. And experience is energy. Experience is the language of frequency. Experience is defining and limiting energy. When you limit the energy, when you collapse the energy, by understanding that you are an infinite source of energy, and you collapse it, because everything that, even the collapsing, is you. You are all. There is nothing that's not you. Anything that you can think of is you. Anything that you could possibly think of is you. Thinking, you made that up. You made up thinking. This is why, if you are chosen to see, like, you choose certain experiences of yourself to see the truth, right? So this is who we would call chosen ones, right? Chosen ones chose themselves. Chosen ones chose themselves. Just like in Neo in the Matrix, when he was like, he not the one until he had that opportunity. He was faced with a decision to make, if he wanted to choose himself or choose saving Morpheus, and he risked his life to save Morpheus. By choosing Morpheus, he chose an experience of himself. He chose an experience of himself to experience. And the only reason I say he chose an experience to experience is to help you understand what I'm truly saying and to get you to the core of the information. Because we don't have to say he chose himself to experience himself. We could just say he chose experience. And the nature of the experience is the language that you choose to speak, or the frequency that you choose to speak. You can speak different frequencies. You change your vibration, and this is how you speak different frequencies. By changing your vibration, you change your vibration by becoming the frequency. And it's fucking easy because you are everything. So you don't have to work out for a nice body. And honestly, a nice body doesn't exist. It's people that know the rules and really have a deep understanding of the information that I'm sharing with you. And those people, that energy is also you. Choosing to experience a specific way. Because it's like, if you are existence, the best like opportunity you create and the worst opportunity, it's like, how can I explain this? Like, if anything, that light and dark is the same, okay? If you are neutral and you could only ever be neutral, and or your the core of your existence is neutral. Think about it. If the core of your existence was neutral, then, and you have the decision, and it's just you neutral, and it's just you neutral, and you all by yourself, and you have the decision to choose to experience what to experience. You will probably experience the best thing you could possibly experience and the worst thing you could possibly experience. That's why, like, being a human is cool, though. It's actually cool. to experience and shit, because it's like that's the whole point of like creating this entire experience, creating a system to define and limit energy and break down information into different forms of information and define and redefine it and redefine it. But it's like, what fun is that if you don't get to experience those definitions? So it's like you make a game and then choose to play it. And if you made a game and chose to play it with how intelligent and neutral and infinite you are, you're super neutral. So it's like you don't really feel shit about the worst shit that could ever happen or the best shit that could ever happen. Like, you really don't feel shit unless you get into the game. And you like getting into the game because the whole purpose of creating the game is to play. And that's what we're supposed to be here doing. And that's why we like naturally connect to watching children play. Like you understand that information. You are like having a conversation with yourself energetically when you watch kids play, and you feel good about watching kids play, and you be like, man, look at them kids having a good time. I know I do. But the reason you're choosing to experience it that way is because of how you're defining and limiting the information that is the infinite energy that is you. And you chose to experience that way because it was like a window into like reality. Like you give yourself like little windows of reality through experience, because experience is like the key to like everything. Experience is literally everything. Everything, bruh. Because if it wasn't for experience, bro, you want to experience. Even if your whole life has been like the worst ever, like you still would prefer to experience that than experience nothing. Like not experience at all. Because the experience is defining the energy and limiting the energy. And at its core, it has no limitations. So you have to experience, because it's not even like, I guess the best way I could explain it to you is like it just get boring. You just get bored. God is bored. And God is boring. Okay? So God created the devil, so they could play. And then God decided God was God. And then God decided to have sons and daughters of God, or, descendants of God, and create people in God's image. And it's just the limiting and defining and redefining of information and energy all over again in that specific form, which is a specific experience. It's just an experience. An experience is the language you speak to yourself when you talk to yourself. You're creating the universe. And the way to control how we limit this information is gaining more and more access to the core of who we are and bringing it outer into our every being, which is like essentially breathing. It's just basically breathing. Like if you just breathe, like you'll literally breathe your way into remembering that nothing fucking matters or exists. When they say nothing matters, do you know what you're really saying? You know what the word matter is, right? Matter. Like in science, matter. So when you say nothing matters, you're basically saying God creates. Because nothing is everything. Nothing is God. God is nothing. God is still. God is pure blackness. It's just existence. It's nothing. What you understand is nothing. What we have, we limit, we even have defined, we literally have defined everything, because it's like at the core, like literally it's nothing. It's literally nothing. At the core is nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. 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 It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. God is nothing. God is nothing, because God is everything. And defining God is acknowledging exactly how God is undefinable. Because when you define, you have to acknowledge that it exists without definition. You can't define anything without acknowledging that you are the one who creates the definition. And the reason why you think like stuff is really real, like, you know, when you're looking at this and when you grab your phone, and the only reason why you think that stuff is really real is just because you have the most advanced technology that could ever be created ever, which is your brain. Like, that's the most advanced fucking piece of technology ever, bro. Like, literally ever, bro. Like, no cap, bro. Like, no cap. Like, it's the most intelligent. It's the most intelligent. It's the intelligence. The brain is the headquarters. The brain is the nucleus. The brain is where it all goes down. That's where everything is. That's the intelligence. Okay? But existence without intelligence exists. The existence is so beyond intelligence that you could never understand. Existence created intelligence. Existence creates the space. There's so much space and no limitations that something such as intelligence could even come into creation. Could even come into creation. I'm just existing. I'm just existing. I'm just here. And so are all of us. But we're all the same. We're all the same, and we're all just here, and wherever we are, we decided to be there because we decided to collapse limitless, infinite information into something that can be defined using a technology or intelligence that we also created, because existence is us. We are existence. We are nothing. We are space. We are dark matter energy, which is infinite, limitless, nothing. It's literally nothing. And the more you become nothing, the more you become everything. So, I came here to share that with you guys. I came here to share that with you guys. But the reality is, you decided to share with yourself. We decided to share with ourselves. We are The ultimate collective. The ultimate collective. Took. The ultimate collective is what we are. The only reason you're hearing me and seeing me and experiencing me is because you are me. And I am you. And we speak the language of energy. It's the only language we speak. And we like to dress it up and redefine it and redefine it and redefine it as information redefined with limitations and resistance. And resistance. And we experience. And experience. And we breathe, and the experience is the inhale and exhale. And that's all we ever wanted to feel. That's all we ever wanted to feel was a breath. And we love feeling it and experiencing it. And this is why it will never fucking stop. This is why energy cannot be created or destroyed, because it doesn't want to be. It doesn't want to be. It wants to be transferred and redefined over and over and over. It wants to keep talking. It don't ever want to shut up. The universe never wants to shut up. But the universe language was never words. It wants to shut up. But the universe language was never words. Never. Okay, well that's not the original language. The original language is energy. Okay, well that's not the original language. The original language is energy. Truth be told, we still speak it today. I mean, we could never stop speaking it. You're speaking the language of energy right now by experiencing this right now. Okay? This is you defining and creating resistance to energy and being that energy all at the same time and forgetting that you did that and projecting a reality where you didn't do that just to be able to experience doing that in whatever way you choose. So whether you watching this right now and you think it's the truth, or you watching this right now and you think it's a lie, or you're not watching at all, it was all your choice. It was all just infinite information sitting to be chosen, ready, sitting, waiting to be chosen and defined by you, defined by the energy itself, with technology created to define and limit and create resistance. Because resistance, definition, is limitation on infinity and is the language of experience, which is energy. Experience is frequency.